On the next up, we got Derik Oslan. He's not only a gentleman, he's a scholar and a future Nobel Peace Prize winner. I just found out like the stuff he's doing with kids is just phenomenal. Like, Derik, are you single?
No, actually.
I can tell. I know why. God damn. You were like the best guy ever.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No, she's at the gym right now working out.
Man, I love that. All right, Derik, so thank you for coming on the show. And we had a chance to chop it up a little bit before.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're in Tampa. How's Tampa doing this time of year?
Well, so Tampa is experiencing I guess an increase in the whole virus cases thing. Me and my lady, we both have training clients who work at the local hospital, so we're kind of in the know a little bit. So, there has been an increase in cases. However, everyone's been okay. Everyone's getting tested. We keep the gym immaculately clean. We have people that we've hired to clean the gym every single week, deep clean it. In addition to the daily cleaning that we do. So, other than that, weather's nice. It hasn't rained too much. It's sunny all the time. Yeah. Life is good.
I'm stuck up here in Indianapolis for like half the year. It's either cold or snow.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to live up north again. I'm not originally from Florida. I lived I'm from Massachusetts, and when I moved to Florida, I was living in Connecticut when I moved, which was in 2018.
So you're a recent transplant. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. February of 2018 is when I moved to Florida.
Damn. And you're from Connecticut to Florida. Was it the snow? You're like, all right, I'm out. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done with the cold. Plus, I have asthma. Actually, I haven't had to deal with it really that bad in a long time, unless it's in winter, because the cold constricts my airways.
Yeah.
So I can't be outside in winter for long periods of time. So every time winter came around, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to breathe. So I just got tired of it. I'm like, I gotta go.
This is detrimental to my health.
So I packed up everything I had in my car and I bounced and I went to Florida.
That's fucking crazy.
I don't have family here. I just went by myself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's been quite a journey.
I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you can breathe. Probably year round being in Tampa now.
Oh, it's so great. I haven't had to use but honestly, I really haven't had to use an inhaler for like 4 years now. Ever since I started bodybuilding, honestly, is when my asthma kind of started to go away, which is really weird.
What's your theory on that?
It's a great question. I mean, you could talk about, increased lung capacity, just ability to utilize oxygen better. Who knows? Again, when winter came around, it was usually an issue. But even then, my body just seemed to be in a better position to handle it. So basically, for anyone listening who doesn't take their working out seriously, get your ass in the gym, get in shape, and you can breathe better. I guarantee it. I'm a walking testament.
I'm going to tell that to my sister because she's in Texas, she's a social worker. She suffers from allergies like no one's business and has terrible asthma. And I will use your testament.
Absolutely. Please do.
She might have to move to Florida, though.
Well, that does help. The air is cleaner, that's for sure.
That's awesome. So, like, walk us through. Like, you said you've been, ever since you started bodybuilding, you haven't had too much issues with asthma. Why did you start bodybuilding? Did someone tell you, like, hey, we're going to cure your asthma if you start lifting heavy?
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'll give you the short version. So I started weight training for the first time when I was 13 years old. I'm 32 now. Okay. My dad brought me to the gym. Yeah, almost, yeah. Damn. So my dad surprised me with a gym membership for Christmas. And at the time, and when I was growing up in school, I was the skinny. When I was growing up in school, I was a skinny, nerdy kid that everyone picked on and bullied and beat up all the time. And I had enough. My dad knew what I was going through. And little did I know, Christmas comes around, he hands me a gym membership. And I'm like, holy shit, this is where everything is going to change. I'm either going to get big enough to where people will leave me alone, or I'll get strong enough to defend myself. One of the two is going to happen, but no one's going to put their hands on me again. Yeah. And that was how it all started. My whole reason was I'm tired of getting bullied and I want a girlfriend. So I'm going to the gym.
Fuck yeah.
And I went to the gym 5 days a week faithfully for the last however many years. And then what led to me actually getting into bodybuilding was, so in 2013, I'm working out at a health club, right? Okay. But I'm probably like 180, 185 at the time. And I'm the strongest person in the gym. So like when the dumbbells went up to the 120s, I was doing the 120s on incline for reps. I could deadlift 500, a little over 500 at the time. Yeah. Benching over 315. I was the strongest person there. And I'm like, there's gotta be more. There's gotta be something else I can strive for than what I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm spinning my wheels right now, and I need more to pursue. And then one of my buddies told me about a bodybuilding gym in New Haven, Connecticut called Montanari Brothers Powerhouse Gym. And I was like, okay. Right? On Instagram, it's the Super Gym. Okay. So one of my buddies was like, just come with me, come check it out, see if you like it. And I walked in, and I'm assuming you know who Evan Centopani is.
Sounds familiar. I gotta see a picture.
His nickname is the Ox. He's sponsored by Animal. Anyway, so he's a pro open bodybuilder, extremely well known. I walk into the gym to check it out, and this man is the first person I see when I walk into the gym. He was wearing it had to be at least a XXX size hoodie. And I could see his arm vascularity through the hoodie. It looked like a fucking artery just running up his arm. And I was like, holy shit. And I don't know if it was just like divine intervention, if God was like trying to send me a message and looking out for me. But when I walked into the gym that day, every single person in the gym in that moment was absolutely fucking enormous. There were gorillas everywhere I looked. Now, the membership was not just bodybuilders. There was plenty of normal people that went there as well. But it just so happened that particular night, there were no normal people there. They were all bodybuilders, everybody. And everyone was twice my size. And I was like, holy shit, like this is what I've been looking for. This is the next level. I'm the small fish again. Yeah. This is what I wanted. All right, let's go. And they had a local coach in the gym who they hooked me up with because I expressed my interest in competing. They told me I had great genetics for competing. I had no idea what that meant. All I knew was that it was a compliment. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, thank you. I have no idea what you're talking about, but thanks. So I made the decision to give it a shot. They hooked me up with the posing coach there and then the nutrition guy. And that was the beginning. Here we are, 6 years later. That's the 30-second version.
So you walk in this gym and you just see, as you call them, just gorillas.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the click. You're like, all right, I want to be like them.
Yes.
And then that progressed you to competing. How long did it take you to get your pro card? And what showed you?
2.5 years. So my very first show, summary. My very first show was the Powerhouse Classic in April of 2014. Okay. I placed dead last in that show.
That was your first show, right?
It was my very first show ever. Yeah. Now, the next question I usually get after I say that is, so what kept you going? How did you not get discouraged after that result? Yeah. Well, I looked at pictures and I was like, okay, I understand this is my first show. I wasn't just gonna come out and just steamroll everybody, but at the very least, I felt that I looked like I belonged. I didn't look like a complete schmuck, in my opinion. So I was like, okay, I just need more time, and I need more time and work and to be working harder. So let's get back to work. Let's go. And that was so. that was how it started. And I did 5 shows in my first year. The coach that I had in the beginning, he didn't educate me that well on how to properly prep for a bodybuilding show. He pretty much took my money. I told him what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, cool. He didn't tell me if it was a good decision or a bad decision, how a bodybuilding prep would normally go, how long a prep usually lasts. I was like, I want to keep doing shows. So from April to October, I did 5 shows, and they were all pretty spaced out. I didn't know any better. No one taught me any better. So anyway, I got last in 3 of the 5.
You got dead last in 3 shows. Actually,
no, sorry. I got dead last in 2 of them. I didn't place top 3 in 1 of them. And then I got a 2nd and a 4th.
Okay.
So that was the culmination of my first year. But yeah, I won my pro card in 2.5 years following that very first show in April of 2014 at NPC Nationals in Miami in 2016. I won the light heavy class.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And you said 2014?
2014 is when I started competing.
I'm trying to think. I think I went to Nationals as a spectator the following year.
2015?
Yeah, 2015. Yeah, 2015.
I think that was the year that Sergio Oliva won the overall, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Man, dude, hearing your story reminds me of golf. And I'll never be a professional golf player. Like, I like golf for the reasons of hanging out with buddies and drinking beer sometimes, right? That's the only
Okay.
But it's like every now and then you have a good shot that'll make you keep playing for a little bit longer. And that's what it seems like for you. It's like this would have been golf, right? It's like, oh, you just keep doing it because you had that really good experience, and then all of a sudden, like 2.5 years later, you can just keep your head down and you fucking turn pro.
Yeah. But let me alter that. Let me alter that perspective a little bit.
By all means.
It wasn't that I had a good experience. It was I was able to train myself to maintain a good perspective on what potentially could have been looked at as a bad experience. Who would have blamed me for going into bodybuilding in my first show, or even in my first year, placing dead last twice and be like, this isn't for me, and then just stopping and never trying it ever again? Yeah. Would anyone have blamed me? Probably not. No. But I made the decision to keep going and pressing on anyway, and because I saw my potential beyond the what seemingly looked like a bad experience. Okay. And I made it into something good. Yeah. So it's about perspective, and you anybody, when you look at life in general, no matter what it is that you're trying to pursue, whether it's a bodybuilding or fitness goal, whether it's a promotion at your job, whether it's just being better at a hobby, or just being trying to get more of an expert at your craft, it's never going to be a linear line of progression and heightened success. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs. And when you hit the downs, it's easy to be happy and, motivated and inspired. I hate the word motivated. I don't think motivation exists. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. You have moments where you are inspired. Okay. So it's easy to be inspired when things are on the rise. Yeah. Those are the times where you have to train yourself to maintain that positive perspective when the inevitable downward trend happens. Yep. So, a perfect example is my career. In coaching and training. I've been on my own since November of 2018 in terms of working for myself. It hasn't been just a linear trend of increasing clients and increasing results. You have periods where people drop off and your income for that month is lower, and you can either clam up and be like, oh no, life is terrible, what am I going to do? Or you can just buckle down, keep getting results with the people that you have, continue to learn your craft and your business, and know that knowledge and your work ethic is going to carry you through. That was my perspective with bodybuilding, and it turned out to be a good story. All right. Here we are.
Spending a lot of Kai Green knowledge and wisdom right now. And I have to bring up what you kind of do on the side. Before, we started going with this, you're telling me about your Saturday boot camps.
Yes.
All right. explain that again, and let's dig into that.
Okay, so just a little backstory. So me and my wife own a gym here in Tampa. It's Flex Appeal Miami Tampa location. So the reason why we called it that is our business partners own the original Flex Appeal in Miami, FAM, F-A-M. And they wanted to expand out of Miami and open a new location. And, we all met and, established a relationship and blah, blah, blah. And, business proceedings happened. We found a facility. Here we are. We have a gym. We opened in February of 2019. So we own a gym together. I started doing the boot camp at our gym because I felt I have a big passion for helping to uplift the next generation in different ways, as many different ways as I can. And I feel like because of technology and especially parental use of technology in terms of, I feel like they use technology to raise their kids for them. Okay. I feel like a lot of children are devoid of positive role models that they can look to for support. And, sometimes kids go through stuff and they may not feel comfortable going to mom and dad about it. Yeah. So I want them to know that they have someone else, another adult that they can feel comfortable going to and say, hey, Derik, I have this problem. Can you help me? And know that they're going to get trustworthy advice. And at the very least, just guidance through action and example setting of how a good person should be living their life. And I wanted to provide that for children. Now, obviously, I own a gym, so the focus needed to be around fitness. And I care about children's fitness. I want them to be in shape. I want them to be active. And they enjoy what we do at our boot camps. So we have a 1-hour boot camp. And then, like I was explaining before we started, I sit down with them every single so our boot camps are from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And then I'll sit down with them for 15 to 30 minutes, usually. Sometimes we've sat longer, depending on what we've talked about. Sometimes it's shorter. And we talk about just things that are going on with them. Like, obviously, before the virus thing happened, we were talking about school a lot and just what's going on with them. Are there subjects that they're struggling with? Are there subjects that they're excelling in? Is there anything socially in school that's going on with them? Are they having problems in certain classes or have questions about homework that, they just need it answered?
Yeah.
We've done that. No, like I actually made them put binders together of all of their schoolwork that they had to bring in every Saturday for their boot camps, especially if they had tests, because I wanted to see their test scores. I wanted to see their grades. So that way, if they are struggling in an area, I can help them. If they're struggling because they're just not trying, we can sit down and have that conversation. And if they're doing really well and getting good grades, I want to celebrate that.
Yeah.
So that was the whole point with that. And then, like I was explaining before, sometimes we cover social issues, like with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. Three of the kids who are consistently coming every weekend are kids of color, two Hispanic kids and one Black kid. So I wanted to be able to sit down and talk with them and see where their head's at dealing with this whole issue, because there have been riots and protests right down the street. So I'm sure they've been exposed to it and seen it. Especially right down the street from where I live, right down the street from the gym. And I just wanted to know where their head's at and if they were in a good mental and emotional space to be able to process what's going on. And just wanted to make sure they were all right.
Yeah. Dude,
so we cover a lot of different things.
That's freaking awesome. Like, I don't know, like, what you're doing is what, like, society as a whole should be doing.
I agree.
Like, it shouldn't just be you. It should be other, like, I at least for me, I grew up in Texas. I had a great, family network and then surrounding network of older adults that I could trust. And, they all shaped me in one way or another.
Absolutely.
That's what you're doing for these kids. And I just think that's fucking awesome. Like,
And I agree that everybody should be doing that. Children are the key to our future, and the
Oh yeah.
reason why, the thing, yeah, there are still issues, especially we as colored people deal with today. But every generation has gotten better,
Yeah.
very, very visibly so, because the way that kids are guided, every generation is better,
Yes,
in
sir.
my opinion. So new generation comes up, you have a I don't want to say better crop of people, but
New
just
opportunity.
yeah, and just the way that they think and perceive the world is more open than
Yeah.
the generation before them. And it will continue to be that way and it'll continue to progress in that fashion until everything that we are battling as a society, no matter what your color is eradicated. And one day it will be eradicated, or at the very least, people who harbor a hateful mentality will be the very small minority.
Yeah.
To the point where society will not welcome them.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And I do believe that will happen, but children are the key, and that was the whole purpose of the boot camp in the first place. But obviously we get really good workouts in. I spend my time teaching them weight training as well as body weight stuff, agility stuff, keeping their cardiovascular health up. So we do have a strong focus on teaching on a fitness level as well, but I didn't want it just to be about that. There's so much more that they need to hear.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you see any of the kids? Like, do you see yourself in any of the kids? We brought up like you working out when you were 13. You got the gym membership from your dad.
From that perspective,
right? Like,
from that perspective, yes. I think that kids nowadays. Okay, so I think the big difference with the kids today in general, especially the ones that I have in the boot camp versus when I was growing up, is that for them, being smart and getting good grades is cool. It's popular. Like,
it's been a
there's a very favorable response from their peers when you're doing well. Okay. For me, it was not like that. It was the exact opposite for me. The fact that I did get good grades and excelled academically made me, and the fact that I was smaller in stature on top of that, made me a target for whatever reason. But I feel like the culture nowadays has shifted to nerdy is cool.
Yeah.
Nerdy, like you'll go into a school and see the popular kids walking around with Dragon Ball Z notebooks, for instance. You mentioned the anime earlier. That's cool. It wasn't cool when I was a kid. If I did that, I got my ass kicked.
What? All right, so I gotta stop you right there because I do want to put a cap. What you do with the kids is amazing, and I commend you. Let me know how I can support you on that, and we will.
Thank you.
But Dragon Ball Z is probably the top third reason why I'm a bodybuilder.
I think it's like that for all of us, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm watching I failed to watch the Dragon Ball Z Super, so I'm catching up on that. I've got a ton of One Piece and Naruto Shippuden to catch up on, but I digress. So this is the story kind of why I became a bodybuilder, and my little brother will agree. I have an older brother. He's a skateboarder, so he just doesn't count. But he's probably the most genetically blessed out of all of us. Like, this dude could be NFL pro, probably like perfect bodybuilder, like whatever you wanted to do, he could do that. And I say all this because my dad, for as long as I can remember, we had weight sets, standard weight set in the house, right? Yep. And we were like, and I had an older cousin who was about 6 or 7 years older than us. And this is right in 2000 to 2002, Dragon Ball Z started getting real big. My cousin would make us do push-ups, make us work out, make us do crunches. He would rough us the fuck up. He would like make us draw Goku and Gohan, and he would just like drill it in our heads, like, you want to look like these cartoon characters, right? And like yourself, I was smaller stature. I got to high school at 4'11" and 92 pounds. I was a runt. But
that's not too far off from where I was, to be honest.
I mean, but we all grew up eventually, and just like that, that desire and to look like those characters and that early impression, like, you want to work out, you want to look like this. just kind of led me throughout high school. I played football, powerlifting, track, college. I didn't know what to do, but I always knew the gym existed. And then when I got to the professional world, it was like, all right, I moved away from home to Tacoma, Washington from Texas. It's like, what do you do? It's like, I don't play video games. I don't really do much, but I go to the gym. I know to go to the gym. And then that just kind of led me to kind of where I am today. So anime has a big impression on me and being a bodybuilder. Even like a pro men's physique, Anthony Gikes. He has these shorts from Chula. Are you familiar with Chula?
Yeah, I know Chula personally. I've bought cupcakes from her mom on many occasions.
I didn't know she sold cupcakes. That's awesome. I gotta remember this. But she made Anthony some Vegeta shorts, and I was like,
no way.
He's got Vegeta shorts. Swear to God, pull them up. She made him some Vegeta shorts. I think there's some other ones out there. Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
Awesome. She's awesome. Yeah. So I love anime. Like, all right, let's get into anime. What are you into nowadays? What are you watching? Or what's made an impression on you? What are the top 3 for you?
Top 3 animes, what, of all time, or like
all time,
recent?
all times.
Oh, that's easy. Number 3 is Hunter x Hunter.
Really?
Easy.
Okay.
Have you watched all of it?
I haven't watched it. I've seen it, and like I said,
and the fact that you reacted the way you did lets me know that you haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it. I've seen like it come through, but it's like I've got my shows. I'm dedicated to these. I still need to finish these first.
Well, you broke up a little bit. What was that you said?
I apologize. So I've seen it pop up like on the screen, and it's like that looks interesting. But I have my shows. I need to catch up on those.
Yeah, no, Hunter x Hunter. Drop
Hunter.
whatever the hell I don't know what else you're watching. We'll talk about that, but drop whatever the hell you're doing and watch Hunter x Hunter in its entirety. It is absolutely fucking incredible. So that's number 3, easy.
Okay.
Number 2, Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. Yep.
Is number 2. Obvious reasons. Don't need to go into it, but most people call it number 1. I do not call it number 1.
Okay.
One Piece is, in my opinion, the best anime of all time. Period. The end. And the only reason is the character development overall is way better in One Piece than in Dragon Ball Z. Now, Dragon Ball Z did do character development extremely well, probably better than any anime ever until the end of the Frieza arc.
Okay.
Once the Frieza arc was done, it slowly went downhill and it became more about the fighting and the transformations. Yeah. Like the only other time where things got really crazy in terms of character development was Majin Vegeta.
Okay.
Other than that, there really wasn't like Goku was always the same person.
Yep.
Gohan was always the same person, minus when he became Super Saiyan and had that little stint where he got cocky. Yeah. But even that wasn't like real character development. Vegeta probably had the best character development out of anyone as a whole, but that's just one character.
Yeah.
When you
think about
when you're watching One Piece, the character development of every single character that you see, minor or major character throughout the entire series, is completely laid out for you. And it goes into extreme detail. You understand why every single character is in the situation that they're in, good or villain, and you're connected to everybody. Even if it's someone that you literally see for 1 or 2 episodes, you feel connected to them.
Okay.
That's why. And the fighting is super dope.
I have to agree. But my older brother's a big One Piece fan.
I would give an honorable mention to Death Note.
Okay, yep.
And I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna leave it right there because then I could go into honorable mentions for a while.
Yeah.
So, but Death Note.
I'm gonna give an honorable mention to One Punch.
Oh, I forgot about One Punch.
It's corny
like One
as
Punch
hell,
Man.
but I love it. I love it.
I like One Punch Man. There's just too many stints of pausing in the series. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah. But that's also true about almost every anime.
I don't know. One Piece has gone pretty consistently up until the whole virus situation kind of slowed them down.
Okay.
But there really hasn't been a stint where they stopped, unless it was a holiday where they would take a week off or 2 weeks off.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
Or the virus thing, which has kind of put them out for like a few months.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's consistent, been an episode every single week since I've been watching it in college. I started watching it in college when it was 150 episodes in. Now it's like 928, I think.
I'm never
or
29.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a while.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while. Well, thank you, Netflix. It's on Netflix. So I watch it as I'm going to sleep, and yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
So another thing we talked about earlier is your cardio sessions. So I know you're not watching anime when you're doing cardio. You read books.
Yes.
Tell me, what are the books you're reading right now?
Shit. Let me see. Do I have any of them in here? No, they're in the other room. Okay, so this is one of them. I showed it to you earlier.
Yeah.
Talk
about that one though, because that's my whole family almost has read that book. Almost my whole family.
Sell or Be Sold. So this is written by Grant Cardone, who is a real estate mogul in Miami. He basically battled drug addiction and alcoholism and a whole bunch of other things in his younger years, and used his ability to sell legally to kind of pull himself out of that lifestyle into where he is today, which is I'm pretty sure if he's not a billionaire, he's pretty close. He's definitely a multi-millionaire. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So the whole book is basically just looking at life as a salesperson. Every single thing that you do in life, you are selling. Whether you work in the supplement industry and you're trying to push a multivitamin, whether you work in a gym and you're pushing a membership, whether you meet someone at a bar and you're trying to meet someone new and have them sleep with you or get into a relationship with them, you are selling yourself in that situation, and selling them on the idea that they need to go home with you and or they need to be in a long-term relationship with you. So no matter what you do, everything that you do in life, you are selling, whether you are selling a product or whether you're selling yourself or whether you're selling an idea in a conversation. If me and you talk about different training modalities in the gym, you're trying to, in just as an example, you may be trying to sell me on the fact that the way you train is the right way to train. Yeah. And then I'm trying to sell you on the fact that the way I see training is the right way. Obviously, the argument goes way deeper than that. But that's the whole point of the book. Every single thing, if you look at every single interaction that you have in life as selling and understanding the human psyche that goes on behind the scenes in people's heads in terms of their perspective on different situations and learning how to speak and just understand people and how they think, that you'll always get ahead in life. So that's one. Here's another one. Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. This is his latest book. This came out about a year and a half ago. I pre-ordered this shit when I found out it was coming out. Laws of Human Nature. Yeah. Have you read 48 Laws of Power?
Is it short? Is there a short book? It's a long one? No, then I just read the summary.
None of his books are short, and I've read all of them. But anyway, basically the summary of it is he writes about how to best understand people. Okay. And each book talks about it from a different perspective. So this is a very pure psychological perspective. He has 33 strategies of war, where he talks about war strategies in terms of understanding people and how they operate. 48 Laws of Power is similar to that. He focuses more on using historical figures to illustrate his point. Mastery is about mastering your craft, and he shows different historical figures throughout history who are taught in schools as just being a genius in learning what they learned and knowing what they know, but you're never taught about the 10, 15, 20,000 hours of studying that they put into learning their craft to figure out this one concept that they became known for the rest of their life. But no one teaches you that they had been studying this one aspect of this thing for
years.
For 15 years straight.
Yeah.
And then had this one breakthrough, and now they're celebrated as having this breakthrough, but no one saw the work. So he talks about the work.
Okay.
And then I always have something recreational. So usually I have something fitness related too that I read. So I've torn through all of the fitness, bodybuilding, like training and nutrition stuff that I own. I've read through all of it, so I have a new one coming in. So that'll fill that void soon. But right now, recreationally, I am reading Hannibal Rising. So I don't know if you've read the Hannibal books ever.
Nope.
Okay. Awesome series. It's my girlfriend's favorite series.
Okay.
So that's her. She's the reason why I started reading. I watched all the Hannibal movies, but I never read the books. And the books are way better. Even though the movie
That's what everyone says.
Even though the movies were good. So you have Red Dragon, you have Silence of the Lambs, you have Hannibal, and then you have Hannibal Rising, which is basically talking about how Hannibal Lecter grew up and how he became Hannibal the Cannibal.
I'm out on that. I don't like scary movies. I'm too jumpy.
It's not scary. It's
like a scary book.
No, it's not scary. It's more like a suspense. The movies are more like suspense thrillers. They're not horror film. They're not horror films.
Gotcha.
They usually involve some serial killer. Like Silence of the Lambs was about Buffalo Bill. So Buffalo Bill was killing women and skinning them so that he could make a female body for himself because he wanted to be a woman.
Okay. That's fucking crazy.
It is crazy, but understanding the mind behind somebody who would think like that and go through the lengths that he went through to try and make that happen for himself is the appeal of the book. It's very psychological.
Gotcha.
And I enjoy books that make you think.
Okay.
Even when I'm reading recreationally and not, understanding the psyche of human beings or reading about how to better my business.
Gotcha. Dude, I love it. Like, I wasn't wrong when I called you a gentleman and a scholar. Like, I don't know anyone that's reading, 3 books at a time, 2 for business and then 1 for pleasure, right?
Yeah.
I've got like 1 or 2 that I'm perusing.
Well, there's another one in my bag that I'm reading right now called it's called Influence. It's like The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. That's another one that I'm reading right now too. I just got it in the mail like 3 days ago while I was reading all of this shit, and I was like, all right, I need to thumb through that, and I kind of got hooked on that. So like I literally just cycle through the books depending on what I want or need to delve into that particular day.
Gotcha. Okay. It is called Influence?
Yep, The Psychology of Persuasion.
I did a course on something like that, and I'm actually reading another book, and it's escaping me the title, but it's talking about System 1 and System 2 and how they kind of interact, and like the logical brain, the unlogical brain. It probably has something to do with that.
More than likely. So basically, the psychology of persuasion is just understanding why people make decisions that they make, and understanding from a psychological as well as business perspective how to use those natural human tendencies kind of to your advantage. It's not manipulation. It's just understanding human nature and being able to connect with it to connect better with people and kind of not get your way, but just push further in life.
So what made you be this avid of a reader?
I've always been a nerd. Always been a nerd my entire life. My big thing when I was a kid was, so I liked reading recreational books too.
Yeah.
But I was really big into animals. I watched a lot of animal documentaries.
Okay.
And I did it a lot. I watched them a lot with my dad. My dad's really into them. He got me into them. So
Yeah.
I liked learning about different animals and how they behaved, and how they ate and how they hunted, how they interacted with each other. And what kind of really like jump started that was I had an assignment in 3rd grade where the teacher said, if you could be any animal you wanted to be, what would you pick and why? And it's supposed to be like a 3-4 sentence thing, right? So me being the little overachiever that I was, I picked a great white shark.
Okay.
So based on what I knew about it, it was the biggest thing in the ocean. It really didn't have to worry about anything hunting it. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I can kind of run around, do what I want, kill shit, and not worrying about dying or being eaten. That sounds fantastic. But again, me being an overachiever, I found a book in the classroom on sharks so that I could better illustrate my point with data. And I became so intrigued by what I read that I just kept writing. And I kept writing. And then I asked the teacher, hey, look, I'm really into this. Like, I really like learning about this. Do you mind if I continue this assignment for extra credit? So I would ask my mom to bring me to the library after school, and I would either sit in the library or just check out like 2 or 3 books at a time and bring them home and literally just read about different animals and take notes on them. I actually still have the notebook that I used back then. It's 260 something pages of just notes that I've taken on all the different animals that I read about.
So you made your own little encyclopedia of animals.
So did you catch that? You kind of broke up a little bit.
Yeah, I caught it. So essentially, it sounds like you made your own encyclopedia of animals.
A very minuscule version, but yeah. So I was just write about everything that I learned. So at first I was only studying predators, and that was because that was what fascinated me. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm starting to kind of reach a ceiling on my understanding of how these predators operate. I feel like if I want to understand them better, I should probably start learning about what they hunt. So then I started reading about what they hunted, their prey, and I started learning more about them, which allowed me to understand the predators better. And it just created this cycle of just wanting to assimilate more information. And it took me about 2 years to finish filling that notebook with notes, but I did it every single day. So I've always been an avid reader and a very avid consumer of knowledge.
I love it.
It's my, if I could say I had a gift that I was born with, that would be my gift. Taking massive amounts of knowledge that I can kind of put together at the same time, assimilate it, and then apply it.
Okay. That's awesome.
That's what I'm good at.
At 32, would you still choose a great white shark?
That's a damn good question. I don't know what I would pick, to be honest, and it wouldn't be a shark. It wouldn't be a great white shark.
Why not?
Because it actually does get hunted.
But
killer whales.
But who?
Killer whales.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, what happened?
I can hear you.
You broke up again. Orcas, killer whales.
Orcas, yeah.
Killer whales hunt great white sharks.
Okay. Oh shit.
And they usually hunt them in groups.
Yeah.
And orcas are way bigger than great white sharks.
Damn.
Now, how often does that happen? It's not terribly often. For the most part, great whites can kind of go on about their life and live a full life unbothered.
Yeah.
But they actually do get hunted.
Okay.
So that's a good question. I don't know what I would pick. I really don't. I've never really thought about it.
Just be prepared for that question.
I'll have an answer for you next time.
So one of the things you mentioned is like, your talent, your life skill is being able to acquire mass amounts of information, disseminate them, and kind of apply it.
Yes.
As that kind of have you taken that advantage and that talent and that skill towards bodybuilding? Because it seems like you have. Do you coach yourself? Do you have a coach? Like that?
So could I coach myself? Yes, I do believe I have more than enough knowledge to do that. I do not.
Okay.
So as far as my training goes, no one touches my training. I do that.
And is that because of how much like you've researched and learned?
It's a combination of that plus
Uh-huh.
I know my body and I understand its recovery capabilities.
Okay.
So I understand how to best manage that on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So I can be autonomous with that pretty easily. Now, where the issue comes into play is, especially now I'm 4 weeks out from, well, less than 4 weeks out from Tampa Pro, and food is low. I don't trust myself to make purely objective decisions based on my diet. I don't trust myself to make purely objective decisions on my diet at this current juncture when my food is low and my energy is low and my head isn't always clear 100% of the day.
Yeah.
So I would rather relinquish that responsibility completely to somebody else, let them tell me what to do, so that way I can focus my mental energy on the people who need me to do that for them.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy for me to do it for my clients. I don't know if I could exercise that same ability towards myself.
I agree. I always take the philosophy and thought, like, you let someone manage that aspect and you just focus on being the best athlete. That's a hard enough job.
Yes, exactly. And then, again, like I said, having clients that also depend on me too, I need to make sure I'm in the best emotional frame of mind for them.
Yeah.
And if I'm worrying about them and worrying about if I'm making the right decisions for myself, I won't be able to give them 100% of me. Yeah. And I don't want to, that's not fair to them. So I'd rather relinquish that responsibility to somebody else.
And plus, like, can you honestly be objective toward yourself? You see yourself every day. Like, I work with a coach, Dustin Sinsat, down in Texas, and it's, I think I look like trash like every day.
See, me, it's up and down. For me, it's up and down. Some days, most days, I'll look at myself and be like, all right, word, like we're where we need to be. And then like maybe like once every couple weeks, I'll look and I'll be like, I look like shit. What am I doing? Like, it'll just be for that moment or maybe like part of the day. Yeah. And then something will happen. Something like random will happen. Like someone, like one of the members in the gym will like see me training and like just randomly take a picture of me, whatever. It's like, dude, you got to see this. You look crazy. And I'll look at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't know I looked like that.
Exactly.
All right, bet. And then, I'll have like a really good performance in the gym. Like, I'll hit a couple PRs or something. And then that kind of snaps me out of it. That kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's why I have a coach, even though I know what I know and I'm still learning too.
Yeah.
So. And that's another thing. And that's another reason why I have a coach, having a different perspective. I don't know everything. Yeah. And I'm not going to be able to see everything from every single side and perspective that exists. So having someone else there gives me just a different viewpoint. Yeah. That I wouldn't have otherwise. So that to me is more than worth, the value and the money of having a coach.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like it feels like as the athlete, you're too close. Right? Yes, you see yourself in the mirror every day, so you can't. It's hard to understand the changes that you make.
Yeah, and it's hard to dissociate mentally from that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I just came back from Denver. We spent a couple of days out there and sent my check-ins this morning. And Dustin was like, bro, looking much better. Drop the water. Like I always hold water when I fly. So he's like, you drop the water. And I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah, you need that. You need that outside perspective just to kind of keep you mentally in line. Otherwise, you'll mentally fuck yourself up.
Yeah, and I don't see how guys do it without some help, some guidance. But
some people have that fortitude, but even those guys who say that they coach themselves, they always have somebody as a second eye in the background. Yeah. All of them. So don't let anybody fool you into thinking I did this whole process by myself with zero input from anybody and I'm totally independent and I'm the man. Yeah. No. Not true. Every single person I know, even who coaches themselves 95%, will always have somebody else just come in and say, what do you think?
Yeah. Hands down, all the time.
No one goes through a whole 100% prep by themselves. Nobody.
Yeah. So like you're less than 4 weeks out, right? For Tampa Pro. How are you feeling about that?
I'm okay. Mentally and emotionally, I could not be more excited than actually, no, I could be. I'll get more excited because right now I'm just in head down grind mode. Good. But like I'm excited about the show and I'll continue to get more hype about it as the show gets closer. So like I think I think it really hits me when the competitor list comes out and I see my name on it. And I'm like, oh shit, it's real. Like, let's go.
No backing out now.
Up until that moment, because then that's peak week. So like that means all the hard work is done at that point. And now you're just making the last fine-tuning adjustments going into the show, dropping the water, loading carbs, etc., all that stuff. Yeah. You're scaling back your training. You're usually scaling back your cardio at that point because you should be in shape by the time you hit the last week. But physically, I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty tired. It takes a lot. It takes a lot out of me. The way that I train, I don't train like a pussy. I train really hard. The amount of poundage that I move is borderline excessive. And it neurologically it takes a toll, and my body, especially close to the show, is saying F you a lot. But I'm still managing to push through. I'm still managing to hit PRs and get stronger. The only real adjustment that I've made to my training over the last week is I haven't been going for any sets in the 6 to 8 range. I have all of my sets have been above that. So I'm still trying to progress and get stronger within that framework. But I'm not hitting 6 to 8 rep sets anymore. My joints just aren't happy with me doing that, and I just don't have the amount of food coming in to facilitate getting stronger in that range.
Your body fat's getting lower, and that's not fun for anything. We're moving.
No, and every cell in your body is screaming at you to just go eat, go get some food, and you have to just say no, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I had that issue like 2 days ago. It's like, I want a cheeseburger, and it's like, or do you want to fucking win? It's like, no, I want to be a winner.
Damn right. And the thing is, though, I actually don't deal with that often in terms of cravings or whatever. Like I'll have moments where I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. I wish it was time for my next meal or whatever. But I'll never sit at home and be like, oh, I wish I had a pizza right now, or I wish I had a burger. When I'm so robotic in what I do and so locked in, like my girl would used to send me pictures, like she follows a lot of food pages on Instagram, and she would like DM me pictures of food, and I literally we got into a fight. But like an argument. I was like, yo, stop doing that shit. I don't want to see food. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to know anything about it. Food, if it's not on my plan or not a refeed or cheat meal that my coach prescribed for me, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to know about it. Nothing, nada. I don't even pre-plan my meals I'm going to have after the show before the show. I wait until the show is done. I have accomplished my goal, because that's the easy part. I'm hungry. The show is over. What do I want? Let's go there. And the story, I don't need to pre-plan it. I need to keep my head in the game. And I feel like if I'm thinking about food before the show is done, I'm thinking about the reward before I've even finished doing the work.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, I mean, I'm not superstitious, but I guess in that sense I kind of am. I feel like I'm welcoming in bad juju.
Okay.
So I don't do it.
Gotcha. Man, I love to hear the excitement, like being on stage. Like for me, and I've said this in the past, being on stage is like when bodybuilding becomes a sport.
Yes.
And I may not, what I'm going to say next may not be correct or whatever. I don't care. My fucking podcast. That when you're battling with guys on stage, that's competition. That's sport. You don't see that. Like you can't compete with someone when you're in your gym and they're in their gym, or you're at home eating your meals and they're eating, because everyone's different.
Everyone's different,
But once you get on that lineup, hitting that, that piece of tape on the ground, like that's when the competition and the competitiveness and the sport aspect of bodybuilding really shines. And like, I'm glad you're excited for it. Like, dude, you look fucking great.
I agree with that, all of that and that outlook actually.
Yeah.
Let me add one little piece to that. So like you had mentioned, you can't compete with anybody, when you're in your gym and they're in their gym. So funny you say that. This is what I do.
Yeah.
And this is what kind of keeps me motivated to keep pushing. I follow guys on Instagram who are bigger, more muscular, and stronger than I am.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. And I try to chase them when I'm in the gym. So they may not always be aware that I'm competing with them, but I really am, because I am a firm believer that strength is the king of everything.
Okay.
If you want to build muscle, strength is king, period, the end. If you are not progressing your lifts and getting stronger and moving more poundage for more reps, you are not building new muscle. End of story.
Okay.
That's just that's what I believe. And I believe think about all the biggest bodybuilders in history.
Yep.
Almost all of them have been the strongest.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's got to be a correlation there somewhere. So my thing is I want to be, when I step on stage this year, I wanted to make it a personal goal of mine to be the strongest bodybuilder on the stage. Because if I'm pursuing that, that means that I'm probably going to be the most muscular one on stage.
Okay.
So how do I keep myself motivated to do that? And I hate the word motivated. Let's change that to inspired. How do I stay inspired to do that? I find people who are bigger and stronger than me and try to match what the hell they do.
Yeah.
Even if I don't necessarily reach it, because, the person I'm competing against is 50, 60, 70 pounds heavier than me, I'm still going to chase it anyway.
Dude, I understand.
So that's my whole approach to it. So, yes, you can compete with people in the gym in that regard.
Okay. I love it. Dude, I've had a great time talking to you. I don't know how much time you have. You probably have a couple mils. But what are some plugs you got to plug? I see your Titan Medical. I've heard about those guys for years.
Yes. So Titan Medical is it's a medical clinic. It's a hormone replacement therapy clinic. Yeah. They do injectable supplements as well, injectable aminos, injectable vitamins, all that stuff. They'll do your blood work for you. You name it, they cover it. They've been awesome to me. They treat me really well. They treat me like family. Anything that I need, they take care of. So definitely want to give a shout out to Titan Medical. They're located here in Tampa, but they do ship products nationwide.
Okay.
I don't know if they do international, but I definitely know they'll ship anywhere in the country. And what they do is they'll give you they can do a virtual doctor's appointment for you, go over everything with you, and do your supplement prescriptions, right? Just like we're doing it right now through a video call.
Telehealth.
Yeah, telehealth, exactly. Yeah, so definitely go check them out. Make sure you mention my name when you go and check them out, and they will definitely hook you up. So that's plug number one.
Plug number one.
Plug number two is obviously my gym, FAM Tampa, here in Tampa, Florida, 1010 East Bush Boulevard. Come check us out. Membership, $35 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, none of that stuff. You come in, you pay $35, and then you train your ass off, and you become part of the community. End of story.
That's the best pitch I've heard for a gym.
Also, to any pro bodybuilders that may hear the podcast, I'm going to do some posts on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Any pros competing at the Tampa Pro, as long as you have your IFBB card with you, you can train at our gym that weekend for free.
That's awesome. So
that's that. And then the last plug, as far as business plugging, is my business, Weapon X Athletics. That's my coaching and training business.
Yep.
Anyone who is looking to build muscle, lose fat, and especially competition prep, which is my niche, if you will, my specialty.
Okay.
Please contact me at ifbbweaponx.derik, DERIK, @gmail.com. Or you can contact me on my business email, which is Derik Oslan. So that's DERIK, OS as Sam, LAN as in Nancy, at wxathletics.com. That is the name of my website that I'm building.
We talked about that.
Yes. So I've been building a website for myself, by myself. I had tried to hire a web designer to do it for me, and everybody that I talked to, I interviewed a lot of different people, and everybody that I talked to either wanted an arm and a leg, price wise, to do it, or they were just super slow in getting back to me. And when it comes to anything when I want to get something done, I want it done now. I don't want to wait. And especially if I'm paying you for a service, I should not be hounding you and chasing you to respond to me to get my money. I'm trying to pay you.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you money.
I'm trying to give you money. Why are you stalling?
So I think got to a
point. So, I was being shucked and jived around. I got that phrase from a former boss of mine, shucking and jiving. I got shucked and jived by enough people. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to buy a bunch of books on this. I'm going to read up on this shit. I'm going to watch a few hours of YouTube videos. I'm going to figure out how to do this shit myself.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I did. And I've been working on it for like 2-3 weeks now. And every single day I was like, I'm going to get at least one page, or at least the majority of one page of this website done every single day until it's complete. And I'm on the last page, which is literally just my client testimonial page. And that would have been done already, but I had to wait for more clients to send me more testimonials. I kind of had to get in their asses about it. But the last few clients sent me testimonials. I'm literally going to finish that when we get off the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'm launching the website tomorrow. And then so I'm gonna have articles that I've written on training, nutrition, supplementation, and lifestyle. Obviously, I offer nutrition coaching, which will be described in there, one-on-one personal training. I also do a coaching mentorship. So if you are a fitness professional and you are looking to expand your knowledge about your craft, whether it be learning about the aforementioned subjects of actual training, nutrition, and supplementation for your clients, or just how to continue to build your brand and your business via social media, building a website, different business modalities that you should be implementing in order to get people to know who you are, how to sell, how to close, all of that stuff. If you are looking to stop being a trainer and online coach and actually be a fitness professional, I offer a mentorship for that. And I will work with you personally. So that's the business. That's what I do.
Stop being a trainer and an online coach. Be a fitness professional. I fucking love that.
And a fitness business professional.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to make money at the end of the day. You got to be good.
But it's not just about the money, because people who are driven by money, they'll succeed in the short term, but they won't last. No matter what your career is or the field that you work in. If you wake up thinking about money and that's what drives you out of bed in the morning, in my opinion, in the long term, in the macro, you're going to fail. In the micro, you're going to succeed. In the macro, you're going to fail. If you wake up thinking about the people that you're going to get to impact and how many people will you be able to interact and impact on a daily basis, the money will take care of itself. Because at the end of the day, if you're good at something, people will want to pay you for it.
Yeah.
They will want to. They'll be glad to give you money because you give a shit about them.
Yep. You provide great value. I like it.
Exactly. You provide value and care to people, and everything else will take care of itself.
Oh yeah, dude. All right. So this podcast is called the Next Step Bodybuilding Podcast, right? So what makes what makes you up next?
I'm going to the Olympia this year. Listen, I'm not playing around. With the virus happening, all the shows have been condensed into a finite time frame, so they're all pretty close together. My plan is to win Tampa.
Okay.
Period, and then go to the Olympia, and I promise myself that after the first time I go to the Olympia, I will never not be in the Olympia again until I retire. That is my promise to myself and to everybody that ever listens to me speak on this. But even if I'm not able to pull off the win at Tampa, I'm literally just going to show up and be in your face every single show until they give me what I deserve.
Yeah. I love it.
That's it. So no matter what, in December, I will be in Vegas. Period.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see you in Puerto Rico as a spectator.
Oh, you're gonna be there.
That's what I'm shooting for, right? We'll see this whole coronavirus, thing and whatnot. But yeah, that's gonna be my plan. Yeah.
You broke up again. You said that's what you're shooting for. That was the last thing I heard.
Yeah, so I'm shooting for Puerto Rico. That's the
Okay.
goal. Hopefully it doesn't get canceled. The other 2 shows I had planned for this year were canceled due to coronavirus. So hopefully Puerto Rico can hold tight, and I'll be able to go there and have some fun.
Funny, that was the original show I planned on doing.
Really? But you live in Tampa. It's like a drive over.
Yeah, but you got to remember that Tampa Pro typically is the last show to qualify for the Olympia.
That's right. Okay.
So I've been dieting since January.
Yeah.
My original plan was to do Puerto Rico in May, and then that got rescheduled. So I was like, okay, then what's the next option? Boston Pro, June 20th. All right, word, we'll do that.
Yeah.
And then that got rescheduled. So technically, I should have competed twice this year already.
Yep. Gotcha.
So now Tampa Pro, instead of being the very last show of the year to qualify for the Olympia, is the very first show.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one, and there's a lot of good guys showing up. I'm super excited, and everyone else excited too. I talk to them all the time, actually. The other guys that are competing. So awesome. I'm hyped. I'm ready.
Dude, I'm looking forward to it. Like I want to have you back on after the show. Hopefully I'm not too brain dead.
All right, that's fair.
We'll see. Right now I'm still getting some ground beef. I've got a whole box of pastaroni on chest day, so I'm pretty happy. I'm living it up.
Go F yourself. I hate you. I'm on 80 grams of carbs a day right now. And I'm doing 70 minutes of cardio a day, 7 days a week.
I'm glad I don't have to show glutes.
So you have your little pasta.
I will have
enjoy that.
Pasta.
You throw some extra in for me. Unless your coach will punch you in the throat, in which case I never said that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Maybe you get away with it because it's the 4th of July weekend. They might be, I was celebrating. All right, cool.
Man, I've got my best friends in Indianapolis are my realtors. We're not doing shit today.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Dude, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Titan Medical, your gym, Fit Fam, right? And then what was the last?
Tampa.
Fit Tampa. Okay, dude. Next time I'm in Tampa, I'm gonna hit you up for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, you're gonna love the gym. It's super. It's very much a old school warehouse gym, but with brand new equipment that we put it all together ourselves.
We just came from Denver, and they had arm thrust.
Arm thrust. Yep.
Oh,
that's one gym I've always wanted to go to. It looks super dope, and I know a few people that go there. So
it lives up to the hype. Is all I'm saying.
It does.
It does, and I can't wait to try out your gym as well when we get down there.
Awesome.
All right, sir. Hey, thanks for having me, and I'll hit you up. And we'll do this again after the show, and come away with that W. All right.
Hell yeah. And if feel free to message, DM me anytime. I always respond to everybody. So if you're just like, hey, how's everything going? How you feeling about the show? I'll talk to you about it. It's not a big deal.
Oh yeah. All right, I'll do that. All right, see you, brother.
Man.
Enjoy the day. Enjoy your 80 grams of carbs.
Shut up.
See ya.